Good morning. Good morning. Had a bit of a technology problem then. It wasn't quite working. So, good morning. And how are you doing on this? It's a little bit dark, a little bit gloomy Tuesday morning. I lose track of the days at the moment. It's gone absolutely bizarre. Right. So, as I say, how are you doing on Tuesday? It's great to have you here. I'm just making sure that it's streaming in the right place. So bear with me 1 second. Let's have a look. I'm not having a very good day. Here we go. That's perfect. Right. There we go. So great to have you here. Hello. Please say hi. If you're on live or if you're on the replay, hello to you too. Just do #replay so I can respond to it later. And I'd love to know where you're from in the world. So share, as I say, whether you're live or whether you're on the replay. That'd be perfect. Just bear me 1 second. Okay, so I'm actually, so I saw something notification, just close that one down. I'm actually in Shropshire. And we are so lucky. We live in such a beautiful, beautiful area, to be honest. We are so fortunate. There's lots of lovely walks to go on, and we're more of a rural setting. So we are lovely. So please share where you are from. Right. So what I'm going to do is just get started. So this is episode 1. All excited of the Mumpreneur Magic series. And I'm really excited to be sharing some, there'll be some practical tips, tricks, strategies that you can use and easily implement, because that's the whole point, into your business today. Okay. And this is a bite-sized session, so I don't really want to go on for about more than 15-20 minutes tops. But if you've got any questions, please put them in. As I say, even if it's on the replay, I can pop that later and answer those questions for you. That's the whole point. I'm here to help. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about going from overwhelm to clarity, because obviously there's a big difference between the two. And it's a massive issue for a lot of entrepreneurs, but especially moms, because we have so much demands on our time. At the end of the day, we've got little people, constantly asking for snacks. If you're anything like my kids, they seem to just graze all day, and it seems to be a never-ending they'll literally walk past the dad. And so we have little pockets of time, so I just want to get on with it. Okay, so as I say, remember, ask questions. It's I'll get those, I can answer those either as we go or later on today. So I just want to give you 5 little tips for you to go away and get started straight away. Now, a couple of them, I'm not going to lie, they will take you a little bit longer just to sort out, but once you've done it, that's it. It will revolutionized how I do my business. Okay, so the first one is a brain dump. Now, I love this. This is my most favorite thing, excuse me, in the world. So basically what you're doing, anything that's up here, which especially if you're mom, you're an entrepreneur, you have so many ideas, so many, projects you could be doing or products that you can be doing. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of things. You're the IT, you're the marketing, you're the finance, you're the different departments that you normally have in a job. So there's lots going on, and there's lots that you need to actually be doing. So you need to get it out of your head, whatever it is. Okay. So it might be, let me have a think of what's on mine. It could be, I want to actually review my website. Now, if I just put review website, that is a humongous task. It's like, I'm not going to do it. Whereas if I break it down and I'm like, actually, what do I need to do? Well, I need to look at the copy. I need to look at what am I asking people to do. I need to look at the layout or the navigation and what images I'm using. So all of these tasks, I get it out of my head. So instead of it's just website, it's all these different tasks. And I also do it for like personal things. So it might be look at booking an appointment at the dentist, or it could be I need to order something. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. It might be I need to order some invites for a party, or I mean, one of the things on my list actually, I've got to contact a bouncy castle company. So I need to do that today. So it's anything personal, business. I also do homeschooling stuff. So it might be, right, okay, I need to have a look at, so one of the things is my eldest daughter is doing a GCSE maths group. So I need to do a couple of things for them, like send the address, for them to send a pack through. We need to make sure we download a couple of software for her to be able to do it. And there's a few little things like that. Okay, and then once you've got that list, and it's literally just on paper, it's actually quite therapeutic to be writing it down. I would actually recommend you do that. Once you've got that list, I grab 2 highlighters. I have very specific colours. Pink, excuse me, is my top priority. Now, these are the things that realistically will either do one of 2 things. It will either bring money into your business, which is what we want because we need to be able to pay the bills, because that's quite important, to be fair. And then the second one is it would actually move you closer to your goals. Okay, so your ultimate end goal, it would help you to move closer to that. So my top priority is pink, because as you can tell from the background and everything, and not that you can see, pink hair. Pink is my favourite colour. So that's my top priority. Then, excuse me, then second priority, good old handy yellow. It goes on. So I literally highlight anything that will do those things. And then there'll be some things left on my list, and there's normally quite a few. And it'll be, nah, it's not a priority. It will get done when it gets done. Or sometimes it might actually be that it gets deleted or it gets delegated. Okay. So you've got your list, you've got your priorities, and you now need to actually take that prioritized list and plan out for the next 30 days. Okay. 30 days is a really, really good time frame to actually work on your tasks and work on your goals. Because if you think, right, okay, over the next 12 months, I need to do this, that seems, that's really boring. And it seems such a long way off that you're just like, oh, it's okay, I'll get it done. Oh, I'll do it next month. I'll do it next week. That's no panic. Whereas if you break it down into 30-day tasks, and I literally, so for example, this week, I've got a list of things I need to do. Next week, the week after, and I break it down into weekly, so it's manageable. So when I come into the office, I know exactly what I need to be doing this week. Okay, and then obviously you can break it down into the days depending on what you've got going on. Okay, so I always recommend, especially to my clients, and this again, this is a revolutionary one for them, is to don't do the 12 months and just do 30-day planning. Okay, so that is number 1 little tip for you. So do your brain dump and get your list, because that's your task list, that's your work, and that's how you're going to bring money into the business. Okay. Number 2, now, entrepreneurs, especially mums, I don't know why, but we have this massive habit. I'm just going to get my book, of guilt, basically. Whether we are spending too much time working, whether we are spending too much time, doing other things that we're not with the kids. Are we conscious of, I don't know, in a minute. The kids come to you, can I do this? No, in a minute. And, you just got to do this, you just got to do that. And we start to feel guilty. And overwhelm is actually a fundamental part of that as well. Okay, and it can actually be quite paralyzing. Oh, excuse me. And basically, I just want to say, stop with the guilt. I did this myself. I'm not perfect, far from it. But it can soon actually take over, and then you start to feel so overwhelmed that you can't do anything. Like, oh, what's the point? I'm just going to go clean the house instead, or I'm just going to go sort out the airing cupboard, or sort out whatever it is. And you're like, well, there's no point. And then you start to feel guilty, and then it's just a vicious circle. So the second tip that I want you to actually realize, or number 2, is you've got this. You can do it. To stop the guilt, ditch the guilt. It's not going to do you any favors. Okay, so if you do number 1, do your brain dump, it will help you to get out of that overwhelmed, paralyzing feelings, and it will help you to actually end a lot of the guilt. But as I say, you've got this. You can do it. Go for it. Okay. Number 3. This is probably I'm just trying to find, probably my second favorite, because it's all about baby steps. Now, if you think when your kids were first born, and it got to the point where they had to learn to do things, and then when it came to, especially to crawling but walking, it was all about, they had to learn to stand up a little bit first and cruise along the furniture. They had to learn to balance a little bit. And then when it came to walking, you didn't just expect them to get up and go. It was little baby steps. It was 1 step, and then it was 2 steps and 3 steps until, not too long, they could do a few more. And then next thing, they're running, and then that's it. Your life is over because they're just getting about everywhere, and you got to follow them. So when it comes to your business, it's baby steps. All you've got to do is 1 task, just 1. Then the next task, then the next task. So instead of having to do a million things from your list, you're like, I can't do this. You're doing 1. That's it, just 1. Once you've done that one, you do the next task. So break everything down. So as I was saying, for the brain dump, for the website, for example, it was broken down into specific tasks. And what I actually do then is break them into either 5, 10, or 30-minute tasks if you can, because they just work out normally that's how they fit. And it's really good actually, because then if I've only got a 5 or 10-minute pocket of time available, I know what task I can do. If I am at the moment martial arts, I have to sit in the car. So the girls are in the class, and the class is 45 minutes. It's obviously different with COVID. So I have to sit in my car now, and I can put my phone in the little spot, and I put it on, and they do a Facebook Live on a private group, so I can actually see into the class, because I love it. I love to be able to see them. So I can put them on Facebook Live, and then I've got my computer, or I've got my notebook, and I'm actually going through. I'm being really productive. It's quite scary. So it's like, if they're in, because normally at least 2 classes, so that's an hour and a half of uninterrupted. Nobody is, again, asking me for snacks, because that's all my life revolves around, to be fair, especially with a little one. I'm not getting any, siblings, do they fight? There's no demands or anything like that. It's really good. So using those pockets of time is actually really, really good. So I know what I can do. So as I say, so your third tip, number 3, is the baby steps. Break it down into the 5, 10, or 15. 15. Counting in 5s. 5, 10, or 30-minute tasks. Okay. So number 4 is find your joy. Find your happiness. And the reason that this is an important one, excuse me, is because if you're having a bad day, because nobody's perfect. I have bad days, things don't work, things don't go to plan, or it could be that I'm just not in the right headspace to do a particular thing. If you know your reason for being in business, then it makes these days so much easier. So mine is very, very simple. You can see them. There you go, I'll show you later. So, yeah, that's my joy. That's my reason, my girls. And so all I had to do was just look at a photo, or I'll hear them screaming in the background. And that's my reason. So if I'm having a bad day, or as I say, things just aren't going right, or if I'm having to do a massive project, or if I've got to do if things are busy in the day and I have to work late into the night, who cares? That's the reason I do it, so that I can be with the kids and we can have fun. So we're going away in probably about 3 hours, just in the motorhome, and I worked really late last night so we could do that. It's not a problem. So we're going to go have fun. We're going to go to the lake, do paddleboarding, kayaking, lots of fun, going with some friends. And that's what I want to do. That's the reason I set up my business in the first place, to be able to do these things. Okay, so look at, as I say, what is your why? What's the reason you set up the business in the first place? But also, what's the ultimate goal that you want? So, it might be a case that you want to work just a certain amount of hours a day or days a week. It might be that you want to earn a certain amount of money. It might be that, I don't know, you only want to work for a few years and then you can retire early. It doesn't really matter what it is. Okay, so for example, my husband has pretty much left his full-time job, and that's really quite scary. But that was one of the, so he worked really, really hard for so many years. But then the ultimate goal was for him to not have to do that. And that's what's happened. So know your why, know your reason for being in business, and your ultimate vision. And that will help you. That was number 4. That will help you if you're having a bad day. Okay, and then step number 5 to help you go from overwhelm to clarity is a team. Okay, so we all need a team. It might not be necessarily who you think it is, but if you can get a team on board, that will help you enormously, because again, going back to that guilt and overwhelm sort of side of things, you can't do everything yourself. Okay, so for your team, it includes your partner, your family, even your kids, depends on how old they are. So I mean, my kids are 13, 13, soon to be 8. She's 8 next week, scary, and 4. And I've got a little sign on the door that they know not to come into the office, but if they did, it's not the end of the world. But they know I'm doing something. Okay, so they know I'm either on the phone to a client, or it could be that I'm doing this. So getting the kids on board is really, really good. As I say, you can do it from a young age as well. Then you've also, as I say, you've got a family that you can get on board, whether that's stopping them from, you work from home, or, you haven't got a boss anymore, so they can just pop in for a coffee, or, you can do this job for them, you can have this delivery, whatever it is. Your family need to respect your boundaries. You do have a job, you just work for yourself now. Okay, so as I say, family, partner, whether it's helping out. So it's like my husband, it's his job now to do the kids. That's what it is. He's on board to do that now. Whereas before, when he was working, part of his teamwork part was, because obviously go to work all day, would be to meet me at martial arts to pick up 1 or 2 of the kids. So that's That's what it was. You really need some form of childcare, unless your kids are older, but really needs some form, whether it's just an hour or a couple of hours a week. It doesn't really matter. You need something. Okay. And then the other one for your support team, so those two are your personal. Then the other people could be from a business point of view. So it could be a virtual assistant. I highly recommend a virtual assistant. They're amazing. I actually started my business as a virtual assistant back in the day. They would help you in lots and lots of ways, whether it's a case of sending out a newsletter, doing your blog posts, scheduling client calls. They might help you with like invoicing, whatever it is. A virtual assistant is amazing, so that'd be a good one. You might want to have a coach or a mentor. I have a coach, even though I am a coach, because sometimes I can't see my issues as well. So that's a good one. And then the other one would be things like graphic design, if you don't want to do it yourself, or you might have somebody do your website for you. Okay, so there's lots and lots and lots of things that you can do on your support team. Okay, so that's number 5. So I'm very conscious of the time, and they are my 5 easy to implement tips and tricks and strategies that you can be using to actually go from overwhelm to clarity. So that was episode 1 of the Mumpreneur Magic episodes. And next week, it's going to be Tuesday at 10 o'clock. It's all about getting out of your own way. Okay? Because, again, we tend to put up barriers and things like that. So next week, we're going to be looking at getting out of your own way. And so as I say, that'll be at Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So if you have any questions when you're watching the replay, just pop them in the comments, and we can I'll pop back later and answer those for you. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. See, I've already forgotten what day it is. It's ridiculous. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm going to be getting ready to go in the motorhome, go travelling in a couple of hours. And as I say, pop the questions below. I'll be able to check in later because I've got Wi-Fi, and I'll be checking in a couple of times a day. And I hope to see you at the next episode. So next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So have a great day. Bye-bye. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.